Shalom, friends. I want to give you a little bit of a word of encouragement today. Crises have a way of bringing qualities out of us that we did not know were there. And of course, during this season, there's going to be many tests of those qualities, many tests of the Spirit that is in us. And we know that we are able to rise to the challenge because it is not our spirit, but it is the Holy Spirit who is now dwelling inside of us that is moving us, enlivening the flesh, and allowing us to walk in the will and the desire of the living God. Today I want to talk a little bit about leading, and all of you, if you're listening to this, are leaders in some capacity as the body of Messiah, as a nation of ministers and priests who are called to the generation that they are living in. Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, is a beautiful example of a reluctant leader. Of course, he was born under a ban. It was not the plague of the firstborn. No, it was a plague of the all-male born. If you were born a man or born a male, you were sentenced to death. And of course, Moses' mother hid him for 3 months, and when she could no longer hide him, she put him in a basket, set him on the Nile, and allowed him to float away. As his sister was watching from afar, Pharaoh's daughter finds him, draws him out of the basket, and of course raises him under Pharaoh's own roof. It's a beautiful picture that's created because the future word giver, the future law giver, the one who will proclaim the word of the Lord to the children of Israel and teach generations of covenant people, he is drawn out of the basket. In Hebrew it's teva. You're familiar with it as ark, as a Noah's ark. But that word teva also means word. So the word giver is drawn out of the word because he is saved by being placed in the word. And then he is drawn out of the word. How do we apply that to where we are today? All of us were drawn out from under a ban as well. We were drawn out from under a plague of death due to sin. And now we have been called out by the Lord and called into his Son, into new life, as we share in his resurrection, as we're remembering it in this season. And now not only have we been saved by the Word, but the Word now dwells in us, as Messiah is the Word made flesh, who now is in us by faith as we walk in this new life. So as we go out and now speak reluctantly at times to this plague that is affecting people, when we speak to those who are fearful, when we speak to those who are overcome by the difficulties of this time, watching friends and loved ones pass away, watching friends and loved ones laid off from work or working incredibly long hours in dangerous situations, we have to be the one that is speaking to the Pharaoh and saying, "Let my people go," says the Lord. Now that word that was spoken so many years ago is now speaking through us to a new Pharaoh in this age. Yes, you sitting there, yes, you listening to this, you think you have been shut in, but really you were drawn out for this time in order that now you speak out. You have been called out from where you were in order to be prepared to speak in to where you are no longer. You're speaking the word of truth, the word of life, the word of hope to those who are in desperate need of it. This season is not about your suffering. This season is about speaking to the Pharaoh that is causing suffering to so many people around us everywhere we go. Stop giving in to easy thoughts that are persuasive to the flesh mind and start speaking life to the spirit of those who are around you that are in desperate need, that need renewal, that need faith, that need hope, that need, above all, the Word made flesh, Yeshua the Messiah, the one that whom Moses was pointing to and writing about, the greatest teacher and prophet of the Messiah, who was drawn out and saved by the word that he would later proclaim, because the Lord was preparing him from the time of his birth to the time of his rebirth. And then he saw face to face the Messiah on that Mount of Transfiguration, Matthew 17. And he knew that all that he had spoken, all he had done, all he had suffered was for the glory of that one that stood there, Yeshua. Now you will be standing face to face with him as you know that what you are going through and enduring in this age, speaking to the pharaohs and suffering along with so many others, is for the glory of the living God to work through you to bless those around you. Friends, I hope and pray you found some inspiration to this. It's now time to be the ecclesia, the outcalled ones of God, not a building, but a living temple, moving and worshiping among those who are in desperate need. To His glory, to His honor. Amen. Amen.